episode 17 of the Illuvium Rundown. Whitey is back again. How you doing? Thanks for
I'm
coming
doing
on.
good, doing good. Thanks for having me for the third time.
We're going to get right into it. We're not going to talk in too much detail about this 2023 roadmap, but we did get this after our last episode, so I wanted to run through it quickly. The big thing is that we do have the public beta launch date, Q4. This is the first time they've put out an official, I guess as official as it gets, announcement that public beta is coming in Q4. Now, right away, Whitey, is it going to happen?
With the fact that they've been off before, you're kind of not, you don't have much of a choice but to be right. Do you feel that way too? Like you have to be right this time?
They've already pushed it off enough. They've been hinting for a while that it would come in 2023. I feel like they couldn't put out a roadmap where it was beyond 2023. I feel like they had to plug it in for 2023. Now, will we actually get it in Q4? I'm giving it a 50-50 shot, but I do feel confident that if we don't get it in Q4, it'll come early in Q1 of 2024. Kind of like how we
Yes.
saw the Illuvium Zero launch of last year. They said it was coming towards the end of the year, and we finally got a date on like January 6th or something like that. So I could see that as a possibility, like an early January release. But I do feel comfortable or confident that it's coming within the next year, I guess.
My thought is this. This is how I'm looking at it. If you're going to say it's coming Q4, at the very least, it has to be announced by the end of Q4. It's coming next week. I mean,
Yeah.
after all the delays, and by the way, this whole roadmap that they laid out was only released because of pressure. I mean, for the longest time, Kieran and the whole team was saying, we're not giving dates. So
Yep.
they're giving dates. So they're confident in these dates, or at the very least, they're confident that if it's not going to hit those dates, it's going to be, they can announce the official date by the end of this year.
Yeah, I think when we get to Q4, if they make an official announcement that it's coming January 15th, I don't think you're going to get too many complaints. I'm sure
What will
most
happen?
people are already expecting it to come at the end of Q4. Once we get that official date, I think the complaining is going to stop.
I agree, and it's timelines, it's bull run. People are getting very excited. They're getting very anxious, not just for the game itself, not just for the ecosystem itself. They're getting ready for crypto in general. And if we're going to bring people into the system, into this economy, whether it be buying the token, playing the games, bringing on scholars, it's got to be ready to go. And I feel like that they laid these dates out with confidence, and if not, they probably gave themselves buffer room. I mean, that's, my fingers are crossed, but my guess is they probably gave themselves more time than they needed.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping, yeah, they gave that extra time, and who knows, maybe we get it early Q4. Doubtful, but it's possible. But
We'll
just
see.
quickly before we move on, some of the other notable things. Well, first of all, between now and then, we are going to get a number of updates to private betas. We have, private beta 1, private beta 2, and private beta 3 for the overworld coming. We're gonna have PvP. We're gonna have the alpha season 1 for Illuvium Zero, which I know we've already been waiting for a long time, and we're gonna get into that in a second. Anything else you want to add to this to the roadmap here before we move on?
Yeah, so one thing, I do hope, I would say I'm 110% confident that we're going to hit is our deadlines on Wave 2 and Wave 3 of Illuvitars. I feel like the Illuvitars are probably already done. Maybe some fine tuning with how to bond and what it's going to look like when you bond these accessories. But I do believe we're going to hit Wave 2, Wave 3, which will, at least hitting Wave 2 will assure people that we're on track. Hitting Wave 3, assure people we're on track. And I think that's going to be super important because if for whatever reason there is an issue releasing these Illuvitars, just, I'm not going to say basic artwork because I know the artwork is very intricate, but it's not super in depth, right? You need to get these released. And also something we're going to be talking about, not on our board over here on the side, but the leaderboard. You want to just kind of quick dive into that?
Yeah, so this is something that actually just popped up a little earlier today. So Nick from Illuvium in the Illuvium Beyond Discord mentioned that the issues impacting the leaderboard and albums have been identified and resolved. Neil, I'm not too sure who Neil is, but I guess Neil was up all night trying to figure it out. I guess he was able to figure it out. So they have an estimated time for this update around 2:30 my time, and they basically said in 12 hours they would get the update. So for us right now, in about 4 or 5 hours, we should be getting that update. So by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, the leaderboards should hopefully be fixed. I'll be one of the first people to know because I'm going to wake up and I haven't been on the leaderboard. So I'm going to be checking that right away.
Yeah, I did notice that they had the sleeving thing starting to work. It wasn't 110% accurate, but I was able to sleeve some Illuvitars that I previously wasn't able to. So it looks like we're on track. And it's funny you mentioned that because I did notice that, and I thought an announcement was going to come.
And once we do get this update, assuming it works and everyone's on the leaderboard, it's only going to be, probably a short amount of time, if not right away, where we get an announcement from probably Kieran saying the rewards are going to start, next week. I'm not sure what day they're going to do it on, but hopefully those rewards are starting soon because a lot of people have been patiently waiting, I guess we could say.
And we got another update. You want to go into the Illuvium Zero update?
Yeah. So Illuvium Zero here. We do constantly get an update from Julian every week on just the progress of Illuvium Zero. The last one came out, first of all, 2 days ago. So with all the updates that are coming in Alpha Season 1 starting, we should be getting an update on when that will start in the next couple days. It should be soon after that it does start. Again, they're not giving exact dates, but it seems like we are just about there. And I would hope and think by the end of next week, maybe even by the time that you're watching this right now, that Alpha Season 1 is out. There are different fixes that they've been working on, like the animations, the size of the game. They optimized it down for weaker computers, which I'm sure is great for a lot of different people, especially those on a Mac.
Hi.
Saying hi?
Can you scan? But Daddy, we're allowed to get a free book.
Oh, a free book? Okay, we'll figure it out another time.
And it's all about inflation.
Inflation?
Yeah, this is all about inflation.
Okay.
Oh, there's your alarm.
Don't want to really make this announcement too early, but it looks like I might be in control of a good amount of plots of land, and I'm going to be needing to find some people to play those plots. So if you are interested in playing a plot of land, I'm not sure what the details would be. Maybe you can get some blueprints out of it in this Alpha Season 1, and then when the open beta comes out, there'll be some kind of split with fuel. But if you are interested, then leave a comment down below or send me a message on Discord or something like that. And I'll have more information on that coming real soon.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not sure how many plots you have. We don't have to really talk numbers. I'll have some plots as well, as people will learn in the coming weeks when I start putting my videos out. And as you know, I'm not going to be in the best area to really be monitoring these plots of land. I'll have enough internet to do these calls and, make sure we're keeping these updates coming every 2 weeks. But I'll also have some spots coming. So comments below.
Yeah, and like what he just said, I've been pressuring him to get some of his own videos out on his channel. Looks like he's finally going to be starting that. So I'll have a link down below to his YouTube, and now we're really putting on the pressure for him to get some videos out there.
You'll first see it on Twitter, and I'll probably do a dual posting, Twitter, YouTube, kind of get the ball rolling.
We'll figure it out. I know you've been a lot more active, especially on Twitter. Okay, but before we move on, a couple more things that I wanted to mention here. In the new update, they're going to make it so you can zoom out much further on your plots of land. I know there's been an update a couple weeks ago, and to be honest with you, I haven't really logged into my Illuvium Zero land in the past couple weeks. I've just been waiting for that Alpha Season 1. I know there's been some updates, some smaller UI updates, but I'm just waiting for the Alpha Season 1 for me to really get back in there and get on that grind. But I am excited for it.
Yeah, and just to wrap this topic up, this is going to kind of reflect our first talk for the 2023 roadmap. We got to get this out, so let's hope it comes out. We can stay confident and stay on track with what they plan to release.
So let's move on here to Gov V2 nominations. So Gov V2, we've talked about this before, but the nominations have come up, and we have a timeline now. But there's going to be 4 different sub-councils: the marketing sub-council, the games sub-council, strategy, and community. And nominations are up. So there's going to be 4 spots for 3 of those. In the community sub-council, we'll have 5 spots. So what is that? 17 spots for the community to fill. So if you're part of this community and you're really interested in this, I do encourage you to nominate yourself. But yeah, on that note, I am going to be running for the strategy sub-council. By the time you see this video, my nomination probably will be in there. How the timeline is working, April 18th was the first day of nominations. There's 2 weeks of nominations. After that 2 weeks, there's like a 5-day grace period, I guess, campaigning. So you have 5 days to campaign, although that's going to be part of these next 2 weeks too. Everyone's going to be starting to put out some more information, get some feelers out there. But yeah, so we have the 2 weeks nominations, 5 days of the campaign, and then the voting will start after that. Off the top of my head, I don't know how long the voting is. It might only be like 72 hours, maybe up to a week. And then we'll know who the council members are in less than a month from now. The period until the next epoch starts is about 45 days. So I think they're giving about 2 weeks of crossover. So the new council members can kind of get implemented into the system, talk with the current council members, and just really figure out what their roles are before that second epoch actually, or not second epoch, before the next epoch actually starts. And I feel like every epoch this is said, but this next one is going to be very important. These are 6-month epochs. If we're getting this open beta in Q4 of this year, this next epoch could run into that date, or at least be the council that gets us to that point before we get that open beta. But yeah, I'm excited for it. This is going to be the first time I'm running. I mean, what are your thoughts on Gov V2?
So kind of speaking to the importance of things, of what you said, this is very important. The one thing, and I know it's tough and it's probably not foolproof, is I don't want to see this be a popularity contest, right? I don't want it to be who has the most followers, who has the most YouTube viewers. We need it to start being something that makes sense. People who are knowledgeable. And I understand that as a voter, we don't really have complete knowledge of what everybody knows, whether it be marketing, whether it be strategy, whether it be the business, the back end. So I don't want to see it be a popularity contest, right? In regards to that, like, we need people who, like yourself, who are figuring out the game. I know you had promoted DJ Sam for maybe some marketing sub-council.
Yeah.
And he had a huge influence when Axie was around. He was big on getting scholars involved. He had a ton of followers. And I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but I was guilty of it too, where it almost seemed like it was more about the followers and the scholars than about the marketing to the bigger ecosystem, right? Mm-hmm. Like what he's doing, getting people involved. He's buying 50 land plots. That's going to be awesome for getting more people involved. Different part of the world involved, showing that scholarships can work. But I feel like we, including myself, because with Axie, I did the same thing. I had scholars. I wasn't really involved in playing the game myself. I wasn't really expanding the reach of the community to other big-time players. In all fairness, I don't have that reach. When it comes to the marketing of who's going to be that person, we're going to need that person to reach out to other influencers other than just, hey, here's a pack of, discs. Here's a plot of land. Like, we need these people to be engaged. So whether it be for strategy, whether it be for marketing, we need whoever is going to take that role to take it as if it's what they know, it's what they're an expert at. So yeah, like for strategy, I think someone like yourself would be great. For marketing, I think someone like Sam would be great. He has a huge reach. We just need to make sure that whatever person is in charge of each role is an expert at what they do, and they can target whatever they need to do with their best.
Yeah, in the transition to Gov V2 already kind of solves a little bit of that problem. Because like you said, you don't want it to be a popularity contest. But when there was only 5 council members, and we pretty much knew that Kieran was taking one of those spots, it was basically who are the 4 other biggest names in this community, and they're going to get the votes. Now we basically go from 4 spots to about 16, 17 spots. Mm-hmm. And everybody can only run one sub-council. So it's not like you have somebody out there who's just going to be like, vote for me everywhere and let's see where I get in. Each person's going to have to pick where they feel like they fit the best. They're going to be targeting more of the decisions that work for them. Mm-hmm. Like for me, when it comes to strategy. I'm gonna be making a whole new separate video about this. But I think of it more of like strategy of like what can be added to this game that is going to, help everybody, help the DAO, help the players. Really on that DeFi side of things. I know there's a lot of people who just want to play the game, but there are also a lot of people in this community who want to have that true Web3 experience, owning your own assets, being able to sell it, make a return possibly. So I'm really into all of that, and I'm just really excited for it. So let's move on to, this was an interesting one. So Pokemon fail. Let me bring this up here. All right, so I'm just going to play a minute of this. We're going to have some talking to do after we listen to this. Here we go.
I don't know if you know anything about Pokemon cards, but pretty much the craziest fucking thing that has ever happened in Pokemon cards just happened. There have been pictures circulating around the internet of people with stacks and stacks and stacks of very rare, very holographic, very hard to get cards. Simultaneously, for the past couple of months and or years, people have been complaining about the fact that they buy thousands and thousands of packs of Pokemon cards and don't get any hits. Hits are good cards, so they don't get any nice cards, and that's because apparently people who work at the company that prints Pokemon cards have been taking the good cards off the line and hiding them, saving them to then sell them bulk to people, and they got caught doing it because they're morons, and they go to a fucking local game store with 70 Umbreons, and that raises some red flags. So it started with one picture, and now it's up to like 7 or 8 different pictures of just stacks of these holographic cards that, people have spent a lot of money trying to get. And the whole thing about them is that, like, if you want the rarest card in the set, like a Charizard, you're going to keep opening packs until you get a Charizard. But if every Charizard that goes across the line gets taken out, there's no Charizards to be had. And people will just keep buying packs.
All right, so I'm going to stop it right there. So this is clearly a big L for Pokemon and Pokemon cards. But is this a W for Web3 and things like Illuvatars? Because within the system of like NFTs and true ownership, no one can be pulling these cards off of the assembly line. Like, the people who hate NFTs will say, like, oh, well, I have my physical cards. Like, I know that it's real. I know that I own it. Now we're finding out that the chances of them getting what they think that they could get in these booster packs, it's been a failed system because people are just pulling these off of the line.
I think this is a stain that can be cleaned with bleach. First off, most people aren't going to see this video. They're not going to understand what's going on. And even then, you have to start to question, is this person real? Are they lying? Are they just looking for clout? Are they looking for a little bit of attention? Pokemon's just so well established. Yeah, there will be plenty of people who frown upon it, but in the end of the day, while it is a huge deal, I don't think it's going to be a big tarnish to their reputation. However, in regards to Web3, in NFTs, and let's compare it to Illuvatars, I think the question needs to be, can this be done with NFTs, right? I'm not super techie in regards to how the coding works, how the blockchain works in regards to showing the 100% proof of how things happened, like how I opened my disc and I just happened to get this. I think that would be a great education for people in this space, but it's not going to interest everybody, just like how it's not going to tarnish the reputation of Pokemon. If for whatever reason that this happened in another space, it wouldn't fully tarnish it. It just depends on how extreme the problem was. Were there out of one Pokemon card, was that taken out? Or was that actually put in a pack? Or was there 1,000 of them and somebody took 2 of them? I think it's a numbers game, and it's something that in the end of the day, we're never going to be able to break down fully, and we're never going to fully understand. All we know is that this is a meh look for Pokemon, and I don't really think it helps personally the Web3 space at this moment, just because it's still just not popular enough. It's not in the mainstream enough.
Yeah, I completely agree too. I see this more as like, it gives me a little ammunition for when somebody wants to try to shit all over Web3.
It's a talking point.
And if this does, even if it doesn't get out to the mainstream, if this is proven to have happened, even if it's just in one facility and it only happened a little bit it's one of those things where like it was just exposed that these things can happen when is probably something that no one ever thought of. I never even considered that. If I opened a booster pack of Pokemon cards, like most of the time I wouldn't get anything good anyway, so it wouldn't even cross my mind that somebody could have been stealing and pulling out the good cards. But again, if this does somehow get proven to be true, then there could be a little like asterisk there, like we know that bad things can happen with these systems.
Yeah, and the thing is with trading cards these days is they get their value almost right away, right?
Mm.
Back in the day, we had to wait 20 to 30 years. We had to see how a career played out. We had to see if someone made the Hall of Fame to know if their rookie card was going to be valuable. Now we kind of know right off the rip when you open that pack, is this valuable or is it not?
Yeah.
So, especially with something like Pokemon, where you're not waiting on a career, right? Like, there is no chance here at play. There's no number one pick who might be a bust. There's no number pick 399 who might be a Hall of Famer. Pokemon's Pokemon. You know what you're getting when you open it. So that's the only reason why I kind of really frown upon what happened here is because the people allegedly who stole these cards, they know what they're stealing. And while I don't think it's going to be a huge effect, it's a shame to see, but it also is good to know that this could and does happen.
So let's move on here. Rev Dis, they didn't forget about it, but I don't think people realize how close it is. Now, if there wasn't the IIP that allowed the DAO to take the revenue from Wave 1 Illuvitars for an emergency fund, which doesn't mean that we're not getting it as Rev Dis. We could get that as Rev Dis in the future. It's just saved into an emergency fund right now. Wave 2 is going to be coming in, maybe
48 days, I want to say.
48 days, is that what it is? And once that hits, the revenue from that is going to start going back to the players as Rev Dis. Hopefully the buying is as high in Wave 2 as it was in Wave 1. I doubt it. But still, there was a decent amount of money that's still being spent on this Wave 1 Illuvitars. And if we keep getting that forward, we should be getting some consistent revenue distribution, even if it's just a small amount to start. But do you think people are going to see that and really start to understand the value of ILV, and then we can see, ILV's value go up?
I believe personally that in the short run, the little revenue distribution might be off-putting to some people because it's early, right? Like when you did your projections in previous videos, we're talking 5-10 years out. We're talking 1 million or 10 million or 100 million active users. So in the short run, I think the best thing it does is give us confidence that there is rev distribution, right? This is a real thing. We're going to see it. Even though there's only 6,500 active Illuvitar holders, or there's only X amount of, soon-to-be overworld players. I think it's just the reassurance that we're going to be seeing some sort of distribution.
Yeah, I agree. And we did see that for the first time for the land right after the land sale last year. So anybody who was staking ILV did get a little bit of that revenue distribution, and we haven't gotten anything since. What I'm excited for is just to see the consistent Rev Dis coming through, even if it's like, if it starts out where I get like $1 or $2 week 1, and then maybe week 2 I get $3. I almost look at it as like how I'm growing my YouTube channel. Like I first got monetized, and then I was like, okay, I'm making about 50 cents a day, and I'm slowly creeping up to, I'm $1 a day, creeping up to $1.50 a day. It would be the same thing for that Rev Dis. We could start out with, maybe it's $1 a week. Then the next week it's $2. Next week $3. We know when open beta comes out, the number's going to keep going higher. So it would just be nice to start getting consistent Rev Dis drops, even if it's just a low amount.
Right, and like I said, I think it's really just reassurance. The ecosystem will prove to be efficient for the holders. I don't know the exact math on the Illuvitars, but we're seeing sales. We saw a $50,000 sale on one Illuvitar in you can consider this a bear market, whether it be beginning of a bull, end of a bear.
You sure you don't want to talking about money? Then she said companies like Bitcoin and stuff.
They said Bitcoin.
Like I said, we saw a $50,000 Ramfire sell in a bear market or the beginning of a bull market, however you want to look at this cycle. So we know that the revenue is going to be there, and that's just one facet of this game, right? Like one facet of this ecosystem. So while it's going to be nice to see the Rev Dis early, just to be reassured that it's the real deal, I think the real win, the real W, the real excitement is going to be when we have 1 million active users, 2 million, 10 million, whatever it may be down the road.
I'm excited for it, and yeah, I just want to see that consistency coming through, and a lot of people are going to be open to it. The number of Illuvitar owners we have is still really small compared to the reach that Illuvium has and what we expect for open beta. So anything that we get until open beta starts, we know that's going to be only a fraction of what we're going to be seeing in total. But let's move on.
Just real quick on that. I'm not going to go long.
I
am going to make a video about that and just my thoughts. So stay tuned.
There you go. I'm excited for your videos, Whitey. All right, so here's a fun one that I put up real quick. So we're calling this Smash or Pass. Let's not talk about these too much. Let's just kind of give quick answers.
Right in.
So I'm going to say something. You tell me if right now you're buying, or if you're holding off, or if you're just not going to buy altogether on these.
All right, let's rattle it.
So ILV.
Smash
it. Okay.
Smash.
You can give a little bit of an explanation, by the way.
It's just there's a great deal. Not financial advice. Under $60, all-time high 2,000. Given that all-time high may have been pushed by Facebook announcing Meta, $60 is a bargain.
I agree, especially over this last few weeks when things have been pumping. ILV's actually been staying kind of low. I think that's a good buy as well.
Mm-hmm.
SILV2.
Pass, but not for the reason you think. I'm going to say pass because it's like 85% of ILV. I think that's only because the Illuvitars are active, and I think that there might be a chance to buy the ILV now and then convert it later at maybe 65-70%.
Yeah,
so
you pretty much took what I was about to say right out of my mouth. I do think SILV2 is a great buy in the long run. If you know you're going to be spending it in the game and you're going to be sitting on it for a while, I think it still could be a decent buy right now. But I'm holding off right now. I'd rather buy that ILV and then flip it down to SILV2 in the future. All right, so Illuvium Land.
All right, so I have some, so I'm going to say pass. If you don't have any,
so let's say you're new to the market and these are all your choices here.
One plot, $500, whatever it's at. I buy right now if I'm new. It's a great deal. Bull market land for Axie Infinity was around $5,000 to $6,000 for a base plot. So yeah, smash.
Yeah, I think the same thing. If you're just getting into this and you have the money available after you already bought a chunk of ILV, I think getting exposure to land with at least one tier 1 plot, I think is something that you probably should want, and I think it might be worth it in the future. All right, in ETH Lizard.
ETH Lizard, if I had the money, yeah, smash. I would just personally rather put approximately what's the floor, around $1,000?
The floor right now is about 0.85 ETH.
So I'd rather put it into that into another altcoin that I think has 10x potential. So I'll pass, but not because I don't have faith in the project. It's just for me personally, and for anybody new, it's a little bit of a stretch.
I'm gonna oppose you on that one. I think an ETH Lizard is a great buy right now. In the bull market, it wasn't even the top of the bull market during the ETH Lizard's bull market. Let's put it that way. It got up to 5 ETH, and right now we're sitting under 1 ETH. And we just got new announcements for different updates, Lizcoin, the whole gaming ecosystem they're putting out. I think right now is a great buy. And if you're going to be in this Illuvium community, having an ETH Lizard really gives you that status. And not that I like to just look at status points, but if I see a DM in any inbox I have, Twitter, Discord, if I see an ETH Lizard profile picture, you know I'm clicking on that and I'm seeing what that person has to say.
And just so you know, this is
how it is, you know?
this isn't me anti-ETH lizards. It's just personally to have $1,500 right now, $1,600. It's a personal thing. If the money was there for sure, 100% I'm buying one. But personally,
Yeah.
it's a lot out of pocket for an average person.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's not in grasp for a lot of people, but if you have the extra bit, I think it's a great buy. Okay, so let's look at the Bulldogs jersey season 2.
Smash.
Smash? Okay.
Yeah, it's something that's physical, something you can wear. It's gonna be pretty cool. And if I recall, you get an NFT with it. Is that true?
Yeah, I think we're still waiting on more details on this one, but for the season 1 last year, you did get an NFT. You got the jersey. With that being said, I'm gonna pass on this season 2 because I did get the season 1 jersey in that NFT, and I might even try to swipe the second promo NFT off the market at some point just so I have that. But I already have one jersey, so I think I'm gonna pass on getting a second jersey.
And I'm not super bullish on it. This would be an affordable shot in the dark. Plus, I get something cool with it.
Yeah, it is nice to get a physical item too. All right, Pokemon cards.
Pass. I think they're still cool. They're still super popular, but the day of the shiny Charizard's over. I think
Yeah.
you're not going to see any long-term massive value.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes if I'm in like Target or Walmart and I see those cards hanging up right before you get to the cash register, sometimes I'll pick up 1 or 2 cards. They're like only like or 1 or 2 packs. You know, you're looking at $5-6, almost just for like a little dopamine hit. Even though I know I'm not gonna get anything good, I know I'm not gonna get those Charizards of back in the day.
Get a Mega Disc.
Right? I really should. But and also with that being said, like kids still like these Pokemon cards. My daughter's in 1st grade, and I know she still brings in some of the cards that I've given her, and just shows them off with their friends, and they like look at it and like, ooh, that one's shiny. They think the best ones are always the ones with the highest hit points. So if I open up a pack in anything good, I'll take that one card out and I'll just give her the rest. Because I'm not trying to wait another 20 years like I did with my original cards to make anything on that. Really, I'm going to say a pass on this, but like every once in a while, I'll pick up a pack. All right, so Illuvitars. Where we are right now, are you still buying Illuvitars, or are you waiting for maybe Wave 2?
All right, so anyone who's been following up my Twitter account saw about 4 days ago I said I'm done putting money into Illuvitars. Then I saw these phenomenal deals come out of left field where people weren't paying attention to the accessories. I put $100 in. I probably got $300 worth of stuff. You don't know this. Breaking news. I did it again today. I saw that Sirius Axon with the Stage 5 Tier 2 background come available for $18, and I only had 15. I had to do it. Like, there's $80 of profit right there. It might take a week to sell, but there's $80 of profit. So
there was one that I saw that I sent over to you. An Illuvitar on the market with the meme glasses.
Yep, like $30. Yeah, $26.
Black meme glasses or something like that. Basically, the glasses themselves are going for like $22, $23 right now, and it was on an Illuvitar for like $4.
Mm-hmm.
So I already had that in my collection. But if you're just looking to fill out some points in your collection, for $4 you could have picked up something worth probably 4 or 5 times that.
Yeah, smash all day in Illuvitars. There's 48 days left till, in my opinion, the floor at least doubles or triples. The floor. Not saying everything else will, but I think we're about to see a nice increase in Illuvitars.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the floor pick up, and I think we're going to see the premium accessories and premium Illuvitars pick up, and then everything in the middle I think might take a little bit more time, but eventually scarcity is going to set in, and I think all of Wave 1 is going to increase in value. Not financial advice. Last one we have, the Trump NFTs. He just came out with his second collection.
These to me, they're hilarious. But in the end of the day, these are like those 3 a.m. ads that come up for a golden coin with Donald Trump's face that's selling for $20, but it has a $1 value. I'm passing. I think they're hilarious. I just think the ROI, non-financial advice, it's just not there. You buy it for the sake of saying you bought it if you're a fan. It's hilarious. I think that I mean, just look at the picture. I mean, what the hell's going on there? Or seriously, but it's funny, but it's a pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass as well. But it's been funny. I haven't been keeping a close eye on this, but I know at first his first collection, they like tanked hard right away, and then they picked up in some value. I think when he announced that he was gonna be running for president again, and I think I heard they went up to zero point 0.4 ETH, and then with his announcement of the second collection, they dropped way back down again. Because again, you're every time a project comes out with a new collection, you're kind of devaluing the old collection.
Mhm.
So I think it dropped back down to maybe 0.1 ETH. I'm passing on these. They're not really something I'm into. I think they're fun. Yeah, I think the pictures are hilarious too. But to me, that's more of a gamble than I really want to get into.
Yeah.
Let's just get into this leak of the week. Finish off episode 17 here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. You want to go first here?
Yeah, you let off last time, so.
All right, Whitey. I'm going to be playing this in the background. You tell me what you see.
Yeah, so what I like about this leak of the week, it's simple, but it just shows the intricacy of the artwork. The ice looks like an actual glacier, like the very fine details, and it just kind of brings an exciting aspect to some land that's going to be coming our way. It's a new place for us to run around, another playground to go catch some alluvials, not alluviatars, alluvials. Yeah, and I just think it's super cool. I think it's great to see what the team is doing. This makes it feel like it's a PS5 top tier game, and that's one thing that the space is waiting to see. The space is waiting to see a game that feels like we're sitting on a couch playing a PS5, and I think these details, the intricacy of this Taiga Boreal landscape is awesome.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let me pull up there's two videos
Yeah, you got
here.
one more.
Yeah, so this is the first time we're really getting this. I believe this is like a first look at this region for the overworld, and it looks really cool. I'm not sure how I really feel about the icy regions. I'm more of that abyssal basin. I want to get into that, but this is still going to be really cool. You're gonna be sliding around in this ice. The way that the ice like glows blue, I like that too. Because instead of just seeing the bioluminescence in the plants and rivers and stuff, now we're seeing it in the ice, which I don't think is a natural occurrence, or maybe it's just the light that's peeking through it. Anyways, it looks really cool.
And one final note for me on that, just to go against what you said. I know you said you're not super excited about this land, but based on the previous leak, or I'm not sure if it was a leak, but the picture of the polar bear, I forgot the exact name of the Illuvitar, the polar bear, but people seemed super pumped about that Illuvitar. So I'm guessing it's coming from this land.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It'll definitely be in this land. And just this, I'm just thinking about this while we're looking. This isn't going to be one of the new lands that we get, but in private beta overworld 2, but we're going to be getting 2 more regions. So we're going to be able to explore not just the Crimson Waste, but we'll get Abyssal Basin, and I'm not too sure off the top of my head what the other ones is. Maybe Crystal Shores? I don't know. But we are getting that soon, and that'll be exciting. But for my leak of the week, what I wanted to bring up was these are going to be custom skins that you can earn, in the game for a battle board. Now, we've seen skins for Mozart, we've seen skins for your Ranger, but it's going to be pretty cool to get a skin for your battle board. Imagine inviting someone to battle you, and maybe we're online streaming something, and you have like a 1-of-1 battle board that no one else gets to play on, and you get to stream that online. People are just going to see that and just want to watch because it's a new environment that they're not seeing. And there was 2 leaked Oh, sorry, I don't even have this up on screen right now. Yeah, so this is the first one. It's like your own little island that was leaked. Just the way the sun's hitting it, I think looks cool. The second one we have here is like a beach theme. Um, I'm guessing this is more of a concept. I'm not sure if they would go with this because it doesn't really fit into that lore, although it is just a skin. We got the umbrellas and the little beach towels, and this one is just like a fun skin. But the skins, I guess, don't have to fit into the lore. It's just going to be cool to get these, and I hope at some point I can earn myself a one of one or something really rare. So when I am streaming some PvP battles with people like on my YouTube channel here, I can have a unique skin that I can show off. Any thoughts on these?
I mean, they're cool. Like you said, the artwork's great. The first picture that you had up, it shows a little bit more detail. Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
The sunset, out in the island, very tropical. It's really cool. And like you said, if you're able to have something that's unique to you, whether it be 101, 1 of 10, and then you can go stream, show your friends, show the community, I think it's gonna be sweet. And I really think that what they've done here is just continued great work. I'm really not surprised anymore. Like the leaks used to kind of be like, oh man, wow, I'm shocked. Now it's like, it's what I expected.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, every time I see something that looks amazing, like, yeah, I get that little thrill of like, that's so cool, but I've just come to expect such great things that I don't know, I don't get that full dopamine hit anymore. I'm just like, wow, that's really cool. But you're putting out so much cool stuff. Yeah.
Consistency.
Exactly. Let's see. So this is episode 17. Episode 18 will be coming in a couple weeks. Again, we're going to try our best to stick with this every 2 weeks. I've been doing it for 17, times 2, 34 weeks at this point. The past 2 episodes, we haven't had a guest on because we're trying to figure out this new setup. Whitey is halfway across the country. We're trying to figure out a perfect time for this to work. But I'm hoping by next week we can start getting some guests back on here. Keep out a lookout for Whitey's videos that he's going to be putting out. Keep out a look for my videos. I'm going to be putting one about like my strategy for running for the strategy sub council. So definitely take a look at that, and I would really appreciate your vote. But obviously vote for whoever you think is best for the position and best for Illuvium. Any final thoughts, Whitey?
Yeah, so just on what you said, the videos are going to be coming. I am in a more remote part of the country, but I think I have my cell service figured out where it won't be an issue. I'm going to have a little bit more free flow, walk and talk, just straight up opinions, just kind of just free flow, just let the thoughts come out. And in a perfect world, I'll have enough service to do some live streams where maybe some of y'all can catch me and we can do some Q&A. And who knows, maybe I'll even get an interview with the Nijave Plays.
I will jump on your channel whenever you give me that invite. That's it. Episode 17 in the books, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.